Hello everybody, I hope everybody's having a great day. Today, we will be relocating my battery to the trunk, but the cheap way. If you check online and everything, there's not really any relocation kits. There's two that I know of. There's the Watson Racing. It's like $700 for the billet. It is pretty, keep in mind, but it's $700, and who the fuck has $700 unless you like that to spend that kind of money? But the other set's like a big old silver aluminized container. It's just hideous. So we're going to show you the cheap way. There is a YouTube video. I forgot the guy's name, but I'll get his name in a minute, that actually came up with this whole entire process, but I put a little bit of difference on it, so I'm going to reroute it a different way and show you how I do it versus how he did it, if you've seen that video too. It's nothing completely original, but I figured I'll keep y'all updated on how I'm going to do this. Oh, there's my overweight German Shepherd. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I got your attention, dumbass. Okay, well, we'll get to it. So anyways, I already got the battery out in the tray on the ground. Make sure it fits, because it's universal. So we make sure that fits. But we got the battery out. You can see this whole entire fucking mess we got going on. We did have, don't mind my manifold, we're getting something cool for that, but we did have rats get through my car, and that's the reason for all that horrible rats, literally a rat's nest. But they shoot through my firewall, a whole bunch of wiring. That's why everything's ghetto, because I needed to get to the late model restoration show recently, and now that we're over with that, we're going to go ahead and fix all this. So depending on where you want to start from here, I went ahead and got the battery out. Obviously, you got the tray, made sure it fit. I'll link everything in the description of what I got to make all this, and you'll see the process of how I do things versus whoever else you watch do things. Oh, that part, sorry. But go ahead and get your battery out. If you want to, you can go ahead and get the tray out. Your mess shouldn't look like this, but we'll get to that. Then we'll get the car jacked up, this wheel off, fender liner off, then we'll start getting everything else taken apart. So first mistake, I took the battery out without opening the trunk. Make sure you open the trunk, or you can choose a set of jumper cables. Like I said, the next thing you want to go ahead and do after you get your trunk open, I'm going to start with where I want to mount the battery. I'm personally going to do it on this side. I'm not going to have it on this side because I don't want to snake everything, but we're going to have it on this side because my airlift setup is in the way of doing all this stuff, and we're going to fix this too. But the reason why I'm relocating everything, holy fucking mess. Okay, before I open this, realize it is a fucking mess under here, and this is the reason why I'm doing it, because it was one of those projects where I put it on, I'm like, yeah, I'll fix it later. I never fucking fixed it, but here we are. We're going to fix it, but but yeah, this whole entire mess we're going to go ahead and fix and rewire everything and, you know, make this actually look nice. We're going to make it look nice. That's all I got to say. But we're going to go ahead and get all this carpet removed. You're going to go ahead and remove all this carpet, floor carpet, this carpet. I'm going to go ahead and take off my seats because they're going to be in the way of running everything. You're pretty much going to gut the entire trunk and this side of the car. As in, gut, I mean, you're going to take off this floor panel, this big-ass... Oh, shit, I should have turned on the flash, but this big-ass side piece, and this little L-shaped piece that blocks the pillar. Then, oh, really, you can't fucking see it, but there's a fuse box under here, and you can pull, you know what? Check this out. I'll blind reach this bitch. This piece. It just pulls out, clearly. Okay, we went ahead and started getting placement for the bracket itself. Clearly, since it's a universal kit, it's not going to fit how you want it. Like, these are the mounting tabs, but you can see in this valley right here where the wires are supposed to sit from OEM, there's a gap on both sides. And you can't get it from the bottom either way unless you self-tap it, which is kind of ghetto, and I'm trying to make this nice. So we got 4 bolt holes drilled out, and it should hold it. I'm going to do like a kind of a flush mount so the battery does sit flat. That's why I drilled 4, so it's, you know, kind of even. Yeah, it kind of hangs off the back, so I may make it a piece of wood or whatever, but for right now, like I said before and all this, for right now, never gonna get fixed. This is how it's gonna be. I put the 2 rods back here because it's hitting this bar with the crash sensor. I believe that's what it is on the back of this. I'm not gonna unbolt that because I do want to keep that just in case, you know, some car, another Mustang preferably, typically it's gonna hit me and this will go off, and you know. So went ahead and got the 4 bolts. If you can see under here, I don't know how well you can, but that rail right there is gonna be in the way. Hot boy. That rail's gonna be in the way, so we're hoping the bolts go right here, here, here. Here is what we're hoping for, but we won't see until we drill them, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so picked our spot, went ahead. Obviously, is that rail I showed you earlier, I couldn't get this bolt in, but there's 3 bolts in the corners. Say I'm shaking the whole fucking car, but it's more than tight. There's enough clearance back here to clear this, so just in case this does rattle or something and hits whatever fucking sensor that is, it doesn't go off or something like that. But battery's in there, or battery tray I should say is in there. We'll go ahead and get the tray out from the engine bay. This bad boy. And we'll go ahead and jack up the car, get the fender liner off, then start pulling the inside panels of the door. Just to show you the progress we made, we got battery hooked up, about to be hooked up. Now we got our breaker. Once you're installing this breaker, if you do it this way, on the breaker itself it says battery line in. So you go from battery to this terminal, and this will be your load, so that everything else beyond. I went ahead and put this in, so I grounded obviously the battery to this, and I'm gonna put all my accessories that are in the back half of the car to this. I plan on looming everything, making everything pretty, and running back here. I'm not necessarily worried about everybody seeing this because it's in the trunk, because if you look, oh, everything is good, you'll see this, but it's going to be covered by carpet, let alone redoing all the airlift stuff. Go up here to the front. I'm not necessarily too happy with exactly how this is, but we got all our power and stuff mounted on this bar. I'm probably going to change that because this looks fucking horrible, I'm not going to lie. We got the ground. So if you can see this is actually the factory harness. I didn't cut anything. So battery's up here, and you got that harness that comes right here. One of them goes to the fuse box. I'll show you this in a second. But there's a little clip right, you can kind of see it, the little white thing right there. You can unclip it from there and actually pull it straight under, and you can kind of see, you can't see that a lot. Anyways, you can pull the harness straight down, and it'll come to this metal piece right by the AC condenser, and you can cut the zip tie and actually pull it farther. So instead of cutting all the wires and rewiring everything, I pulled the factory harness, so it kind of looks a little bit more OEM, I guess. The only thing that didn't fit would be the fuse box to the power. So I went ahead and got a 60-inch power cable from O'Reilly's, and I just ran it from here under with the factory wire to my post. So hopefully that works. Everything should work as going, but we're gonna hook the battery up and see if we have power. So process. I forgot we needed a chassis ground, so I went ahead and relocated the battery, the negative, to a spot back here with the bolt. So everything works now as should. I can show you. Nothing works with the breaker flipped. Connect the breaker. You can hear it unlock and lock. So we'll get my airlift fuel system ran, all the other bullshit, and should be good. So to show y'all, we did change a few things now that I processed what the fuck's going on. We did move the breaker up a little bit further where I can reach it from the back seat. So when I do have the car killed, quote unquote, obviously I can't pop the trunk with the car killed, but I can unlock the front door, pull down the back seat, and reach it from here. When I had it up here, obviously I can't reach it because I have an airlift tank in the way. So I went ahead and moved that. We have the accessory power ran to our brick thing. Then we'll have fuel system, maybe my airlift. I haven't decided. Next video you'll see a relocation bracket for my ECU and fuse box. So whenever we get that mounted, we'll decide where this goes, but everything's mounted up here. And then we go to the front of the vehicle. Obviously you can see there's no battery. Don't mind. We're originally doing this because the rats got in my car and we're just fixing the wiring. I figured I'd make it a little bit more pretty, but went ahead and got the battery moved. You can't see any of the wires. Most people will run it through this little hole that's back here behind the AC lines, but we were able to stretch the factory harness long enough. We ran it under the coolant system. If you have a Vortec, you know this coolant is just in the fucking way of everything. But went ahead on the bottom where the Y is at, where all the harnesses can come to one. You can actually cut the zip ties and make it reach up. You can kind of see it up under the car. Everything just kind of roughly ran where my post is at because I am going to relocate the fuse box right here. So everything's just kind of mocked up right now. Ground, power. I don't want power is the stupid fucking Ford relay for the alternator and the starter, I believe. But everything's mounted up and ran. So if y'all did enjoy this, simple, I'll link everything. I'll link the original person that I got this idea from, but everything's cleaned up, and that's about it. Hope y'all have a wonderful day.